Pinocchio. A craftsman named Geppetto lived in a small village. He lived alone and always longed to have a child. One day, he decided to make a little puppet out of wood and named it Pinocchio. That night, Geppetto put the wooden puppet on the table and said,
"I wish Pinocchio were a real boy."
A blue fairy flew by and heard Geppetto's wish. She waved her magic wand and made Pinocchio come to life. When Geppetto woke up the next morning, he was surprised to see that Pinocchio could talk and walk. The old man was overjoyed and exclaimed,
"Pinocchio, my son!"
From that day on, Pinocchio and Papa Geppetto became close companions. One day, Pinocchio told Papa Geppetto,
"Father, I want to go to school."
Unfortunately, Papa Geppetto didn't have enough money to buy Pinocchio's school books. He decided to sell his coat for some money. After selling the coat, he gave the money to Pinocchio and reminded him,
"Go straight to school and do not wander around."
Pinocchio saw a circus when he was on his way to school. He forgot Papa Geppetto's warning and went to see the circus. On the stage, there was a puppet show and he couldn't resist the urge to join in the fun. He quickly hopped onto the stage and danced with the other puppets. After the show, Pinocchio found himself locked up in a cage. He cried out,
"Hey, get me out!"
The blue fairy appeared and helped him out of the cage. She warned him,
Obey your father and make sure you do the right thing next time.
Pinocchio headed back to school the next day. While walking through the forest, he ran into a crafty cat and fox. They stopped him when they noticed he had money and asked him where he was going. Pinocchio told them he was going to buy school books. Upon hearing this, the fox said,
"That is not enough to buy school books. If you give me the money, I can plant it in a magical forest where it will multiply."
Pinocchio believed the fox's lies and gave him the money. Pinocchio realized he had been cheated when he did not find the money and started to cry. The blue fairy appeared and asked him about the money. Pinocchio told lies and made excuses. As he continued to lie, his nose grew longer and longer. The fairy soon realized that Pinocchio was lying and asked him,
Are you telling the truth, Pinocchio?
"I'm sorry. I was scared of getting scolded."
The fairy warned him again and returned the money to him. The following day, Pinocchio encountered the circus owner while on his way to school. The circus owner was angry to see him as he believed Pinocchio had run away from the circus. As punishment, he threw Pinocchio into the deep blue sea where a giant whale swallowed him. Papa Geppetto became worried when he didn't hear from his wooden puppet son. He searched everywhere until a fisherman told him that he had seen Pinocchio being thrown into the sea. Geppetto went to the sea and was swallowed by the giant whale. When Papa Geppetto saw Pinocchio, he hugged him and cried. Pinocchio promised to be a better son and obey his father. The blue fairy appeared and rescued them from the whale's stomach. Pinocchio thanked the fairy and promised to listen to his father. The fairy was happy and granted Pinocchio's wish to become a real human boy. From that day on, Papa Geppetto and Pinocchio lived happily ever after. That is the end of Pinocchio's story. See you next time.